having some internet issues, and so I'll let you guys know out. I have my old live stream where I'm at, and so I'm going to close that one down. I'm live on there, and therefore hopefully you guys can be able to check in with the chat, because I'll try to do my best on this live stream. So if those of you guys will let me know on or let everybody else know that on the old chat, I am live on my mobile phone. So I do apologize, guys. I really wish I was able to go live, but for some reason, Ecamm, the software that I use, is not working on my laptop. So I just kind of have to work. So hey, Christy, good to have you on. And hey, Anna, thank you so much for joining in. So obviously, ladies and gentlemen, I am not going to be doing some math problems on this live stream, but you know, this is a week 122, so I wanted to remain consistent. And hey, Gabe, hey, Layla. Hey, DB Singh, good to have you guys on. Man, it's so nice to kind of see a little bit more different with you guys chat in on the mobile than different with doing the desktop. So I do apologize that you know, I'm not going to be able to get into any math questions for you guys. But again, just a reminder, if you guys do want to do the obstacle question, then you guys can go to brianmclogan.com/Q&A. And Chrissy, I passed pre-calc with a high C, almost a B. That's awesome. Congratulations. That is great to hear. And hey, babe, good to have you on. Thank you so much for joining. That was babe for Laura Mclogan, by the way. Not for any other you inside of there. So I'm going to, well, I guess I'll have to close down that previous live stream. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll just go back and download it or leave it for there. And Leon, I love your math lessons. Well, thank you so much. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to obviously not getting back into my office, so therefore I can work on some videos that you know, a couple of things I'm working on is, you know, creating some updated videos from my previous lessons, and you know, kind of just making something that's going to be going from going in order. So one of the things I am going to be working on is some newer content that you guys will be seeing on the channel. So definitely looking forward to that. And Bronson, your best. Well, thank you so much. And we're happy to see you. Yes, I had to be consistent. What's up, bald man? I had to make sure I was consistent because I was thinking about doing a live stream tomorrow, and but I will try to do whatever questions I can for you guys in the chat. So obviously, don't get math on me, please. But I'll try to do. Question on pre-calculus harder than calculus? I think so. I think once students really kind of struggle with upper level mathematics, that you know, you kind of have this bridge that you, or this yeah, kind of this bridge that you have to cross over. And so I really think it's important to kind of tackle that. And a lot of students get that in pre-calculus. Sometimes they get it in calculus. But it's really this idea of working, you know, not just doing math to do math, but really to, you know, really kind of understand and make sure that they can do it. Oh, well, Brad, I can't remember my last one was up. Well, it's so happy to be able to help you out. I wish I could maybe go and edit my chat because they're going in through everything. Well, I see you guys have some EOCs tomorrow. Best of absolute luck. Hopefully you guys had a great year. Went by, yes. Yeah, it's crazy. This is this was my first school year that I wasn't inside the classroom, and just to kind of amazingly think, like, you know, I know a lot of you guys are preparing for your exams. Definitely wish you guys the absolute best. And I have a question. Do you have any tips on how to prepare for a state algebra? Yes, practice. Guys, EOCs, you have an EOC prep, you have teachers. Like final reviews, exam, like practice. Just do as many practice problems as you possibly can, you know, for whatever else from there. I think pre-calculus or any kind of upper level math class is going to be difficult online, so I'd be careful with that. Hey, I got my math file as well for 125. How do you check your work to see if your X value is true? Plug it back in. I'm assuming you're like solving equations. Plug it back in. Awesome. So happy to be able to see that. You got an A. Congratulations. So yeah, I think is, you know, when you guys are kind of like, as you're in the kind of like final stages here of really kind of getting into these final exams and test is, you know, I do have a couple more testing videos that I will be coming out. So I do apologize. Unfortunately, they're not going to be in time for many of you that have your exams, but hey, that's okay. You know, put in the work, put in your practice, and you guys can be right. Should I take calculus in my grade and applied math is 70%? Yeah, I mean, it really kind of depends on what you want to get out of it, but I don't feel that you have to be a math genius to be good or, you know, anything else in math. Like, I think if you have 70%, and depends on how you got that 70%, you know, did you really put in all the work, or were you really, you know, did you, maybe there were some mistakes you made and that's how you got the 70%? Or did you get the 70% because you really didn't know anything, but you did enough work? And I think if you feel like you have a decent amount of knowledge at a 70% range, then I think you can definitely do pre-calculus, but you do have to understand that there is some content you are probably going to be missing and lacking that you're going to have to put in that work, right? You're going to have to do a little bit more extra work inside your pre-calculus course to maybe sometimes get caught up or to kind of cover that material that you definitely did not receive in the applied mathematics course. So totally fine. I think, I think a lot of times when I'm talking to students, I say anything if you get as long as you're getting a C or higher, that's usually going to be a good sign that you like have a decent amount of understanding for what you're doing. So I hope that's going to be, hopefully that'll be helpful here. What's the difference between Calc B and BC? Well, mostly, Calc BC is going to be a lot of algebra, Calc 1 topics as well as Calc 2. But yeah, you can kind of think of it as like Calc 1, Calc 2. I will be talking a lot about my pre-calculus and tips for on that. I do actually have a pre-calculus exam course. I'm not sure it's actually in my description. I got my final algebra next week. Thanks for being there. Well, you are very welcome, and I'm so happy that you did not quit and you put in the work. Yeah, actually, I do not have maybe my free course is in the description. I don't know. No, this one's not going in there. But I do have a pre-calculus course, like a diagnostic test, that I think would be great for you to go ahead and check out and see if that's kind of one to kind of get you prepared for pre-calculus. So it is free. It's a diagnostic test, kind of gives you some teaching to get you prepared and see if you're going to be ready for pre-calculus. So I can definitely recommend for that. I will, if you go back to like last year, like around the beginning of the year, you'll see I have a lot of like pre-calculus stuff. So awesome. That's e to the 2x equals 3. So just remember, keep the bases exactly the same when you're converting from exponential to logarithm. So that would be the e to the 3x. Well, then basically from that one, you just want to take the logarithm of both sides. So you take the logarithm of both sides, you'd have like what, 2x equals ln of 3 from there. And I didn't see the last end of that question. If you wanted to more prep for getting your Algebra 1 exam, I think it's just important, guys, to, again, as you're going through this, to keep on practicing as many problems. Moving over to community college. Well, next week's my final exam. Thank you so much. Well, you're very welcome. Congratulations on finishing off the year. I think it's been very, very difficult for you guys, kind of going through all this, especially when, you've missed out a lot of time. Hey, Josh. I believe that, Joseph, if I was going to look back up. But you can also go to... you can also go to Discord, check that out. Yes, I do believe you'd want pre-calculus for that. And well, very welcome. Good to have you on from Somalia. But yeah, I think it'd be really important to have pre-calculus for, not so much for statistics, but definitely for physics. But in our course, in my school, we always wanted students to take pre-calculus before statistics. Yeah, if you're solving for x, you divide out the 2, right? Depends if you're just trying to write in as a log or not. First that I've been able to make. Well, that's awesome, Marcus. So happy to help you on. This is a different live stream than all the other ones I have, but let's go. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much, and good to have you up north. What is mathematical induction useful? That's a good question. I would actually have to go back and review. I don't remember anything off the top of my head as far as the induction process. I remember doing it, but kind of seeing like where the applied thing is. That's a great question. I have to go back and remember. I don't not everything is not anything has the always has so much applicable like immediate, but you're definitely be able to see some things relate. I think as far as learning geometry, you're going to want to have a toolkit as much as well. And you're very welcome, Butterfly. I think I saw that for the questions. I do have my computer, but my eCam software is not working, so I can't. Hey, Shadow. So I can't do my regular live, and unfortunately, and I wasn't going to do a math video anyways, just because obviously I'm not in my studio. So I just wanted to check in with you and say hi to you guys. What is your favorite like math material? Yes, I did do some fun stuff. I played some golf with some friends and haven't seen in college and in high school, and so yeah, it was pretty cool. But yeah, guys, the best thing I'd recommend is you guys are shooting over any kind of questions or comments. The shorter you have them, the better that it is for me to be able to read them. what your qualification? I have no idea what my qualifications are. Um, besides just holding my teaching degree and teaching and making a lot of videos. 12,000 videos is my only qualification. Doesn't qualify for me for much, except I did do a lot of practice. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure for on that. I see, hey, Visco Fighter. It's been a while, yes. What do you think you're doing this summer? I don't know what I'm doing this summer yet. Yeah, I don't know why these aren't going through. Oh, no, I do not think those are always going to be a hard unit. Guys, any way to, prepare is, making sure that you have like the fundamentals of that, of whatever in the content that you're teaching. So if your teacher has like a diagnostic test or like a study guide that you can do from the previous course, right? If you had like you guys are passing course, you guys are taking tests right now, right? You have a review and all that kind of stuff. Then you can use that for next year to kind of review of all the material that you learned, right? And that's a good review to prepare for your next course. I definitely think you can. AP Calculus is good in high school. I never took it though, so I wasn't prepared for AP Calculus when I was in high school. So I don't think you need to put too much pressure on yourself, and it's okay if you're not ready. Dylan, hi Brian. Do you know what to study when a teacher didn't teach and is handing out a test? No, that's I know I laugh just because it's it's a difficult one, to kind of how do you wage that? Like, what do you do with something like that? That's kind of difficult to kind of manage. But I think I think definitely speaking with your teacher as much as you can is going to be helpful from there. Do you have a parabola of it and how to find the range of something? Yes, Dylan, I have a ton of videos on parabolas, like graphing them and finding the characteristics of them. So just go ahead and search my channel on that. And I have tons of examples. Well, thank you so much, Marcus. Hey, you're very welcome, Dan. Dylan, I'm sorry. For Harvard, any advice? Yeah, just keep being you. If I don't have any advice. I never went to Harvard, so I don't have any directly experience on that advice. But I think I think you just put in your work. Oh, put in the work. That you need to do, and keep on working hard. That's about it. So unfortunately, guys, I do not have a way for you guys to answer questions, or at least for me to answer questions for on this. And so the only thing, if you guys do have questions you want me to answer for next week, then you guys can go to brianmclogan.com/Q&A. And then also in any other previous live streams, you guys will see the link for my Discord, and you guys can go ahead and check that out as well. I think doing a lot of thinking, Marcus. So I would read a lot. Like I love self-help books, but I think spending time like meditating and doing doing walks and just being able to think and breathe is really good for you and really good for you to kind of decide what is going to be best. How to make learning fun. That's really good. I think one thing is not so much always making relatable to, to everything, how it's going to be applied, but I think just making it relatable to, to students and what they're learning and not always having so much having to learn so much, but just really making it a natural kind of thing. Like when math is very easily taught or can be easily understood if given in the proper environment. And I think a lot of times we're just so focused on what's going to be on a test and trying to cram as much content and information in students' minds that we really kind of lose that purpose and that excitement of really the learning process. So, and unfortunately that's, you can't have everything, right? I mean, we still want, online, testing and stuff like that. And we need, we're assessing students. So and teaching like that takes time, to kind of go slow and have students have fun. So I think there's a balance, with that. And that's really where you kind of want to stand. Hey, Nathan. Tell you how to master math? I'm not sure. That's good. Do you think calculus is harder than physics? Yes, I thought physics was harder for me than calculus. So I definitely struggled more with physics. It just, one of the things I don't really it didn't really excite me about doing a lot of application videos. So that was why. All right. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. How long you've been teaching? I have been teaching for 14 years, but I stepped away from the classroom. There we go. But I stepped away from the classroom this year. So I am no longer a teacher inside of the classroom. Do you have any videos on solving linear equations? Yes, I have a ton of videos on solving. Well, thank you so much, Anthony. I appreciate that. Please make a session on trigonometric equations, solving by extreme values. Good, yeah, I'll have to maybe go and take a look at from there. But I do have a lot of solving trig values. What do I do now? I make YouTube videos. So that's kind of where I'm focused on. Did you retire? Yes, I guess you can say that I retired from the classroom. So that's, yes, if you've been on my channel, maybe I'm assuming this is on my channel, you'll see I'm uploading weekly. So I'm definitely still creating content and put it online. And I'm really just kind of going back through my older content, making new videos, and then, and Dylan, my favorite sport is rugby. Actually, man, that's actually tough. I like a lot of sports. Actually, I'd say my favorite sport, wrestling, baseball, football, rugby. Those are all sports I played. I think it'd be very difficult for me to kind of pick one, but because I all love them for many, many different reasons. But I think overall team sport, I would say rugby. Overall individual sport is wrestling. So maybe we'll split up that way. Then I can at least get two. I am not going to be live for very long. It's already gone long for 15 minutes. So cool. That's what I was at least planning on, kind of make it to the 15-minute mark. So maybe I'll just make it up to 20. I don't know. We'll kind of see. It's kind of hard to go through all these questions. And obviously there are not going to be many math ones. Yeah, I am a fan of the UFC. I do think it's, I do like watching UFC, but I'm not as trained in like the other, like martial arts and everything like that. So like when you not when you don't understand, but it's like hard to appreciate what other people are doing when you don't really have like the experience. That's why a lot of people are like, oh, what, like, I don't really like watching baseball. Like, well, if you don't like, you never played baseball, you don't understand like what everything that's going in or what's going on. Sometimes, yeah, it's really kind of hard to enjoy the game, right? Unless it's something really fast moving, like, I don't know, basketball or hockey, like, it's unless something's really quick, or rugby too. It's like or easy to follow, then you kind of lose like the I don't know, the art of the sport. And that's kind of with me at the UFC. I don't really get a lot of everything that's going on. What was your job as a teen? That's an interesting question. I actually worked construction. So I used to I used to be in the hole, and I would dig holes in the hot sun. And then eventually when I was in college, I got to operate like machinery. And actually when I started my first teaching job, I was actually making more money working in construction than I was being a teacher. So I actually had to take a pay cut when I first got my job. Like my paycheck was lower. It was kind of crazy. Like I worked all the summer up before getting my job, and I was making more money as a construction worker than as a teacher. But it was very... But it was very cool, because obviously it was much better to be in and teaching than always just doing the construction stuff, which is hot stuff like that. I think math is just really... Do you learn anything from construction? Keystones. I do not. I can't remember what the other question was. And yes, learning construction was very helpful. I'm not sure like so much applicable in math, but I think a lot of times like was, following some guidelines, and obviously doing some problem solving. Like a lot of times we would have things that didn't go away around as we were wanting them to. So you had to like think about it and adjust. And so I think that's been very helpful, not so much just in like math, but like learning in general. So I think, and then also like putting in the work. Like a lot of times I did not want to go to construction work, but you guys can see here, same thing, like being consistent. Yes, I think you should study for a precalc over the summer. Don't go crazy. Like I think everybody should enjoy their summer, and I think you should try to be relevant with your courses and stuff like that. But I also think that it's really good for the mind, the soul, to kind of take a break from learning and, be a kid, be a student, and to like do other things, because I think when I want students to be inside the classroom, I really want their full attention. I want them to, be engaged and doing that stuff. And I think that can only happen if you are taking breaks. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, that has been 20 minutes. So I think that's been pretty cool for me or pretty cool for me to do it this way, because I was kind of getting worried. I was like, my stuff is not working. And so I'm really happy I was able to connect with you guys on this live stream. And next week, I promise I will be back in there. So if you guys do have any math questions you want me to do, then again, go to brianmclogan.com/Q&A. Or you can go to any other old live stream and go and check out the links and stuff like that. But hope you guys have a great week. For all of you that are taking EOCs or exams, I wish you the absolute best, guys. You are going to do awesome. And guess what? Finish it up, guys. The end of the year is very soon. So if you still have a test or an exam coming up, guys, this is this is not a fun time. Put in the work. You are almost there. You guys got this. All right, cheers.